This morning we have the Mavic Air, and over here we have the Autel EVO, and we're going to do a quick camera comparison. Good morning. Well, it's another bright sunny morning, and behind me, as I've already mentioned, I've got the Mavic Air and the Autel EVO, and we're going to do a camera comparison of the two. Nothing scientific, this is pretty basic. I've worn the color red because cameras have so much difficulty filming red. They always get it wrong. So we'll see how the cameras do. Here we go.
Take off. The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Wow, that was different. Here we have the Autel EVO, all the settings on the camera in auto, and over here we go to the Mavic Air and all the settings on the camera are in auto. All right, so right now this is the image from the Autel EVO. I am standing in the shade. It's a very, very sunny morning, but I'm in shade. So the center of the Autel EVO's camera will now expose for the center of the body of mass, which is me. So I'm wearing a red shirt, white legs, white socks, green background, and you can see some colors maybe in the background from the floral that's back here and the forest. So what we're looking at is dynamic range. Now the Autel EVO has an amazing dynamic range, so it should look pretty good. But let's switch over to the Mavic Air right now. So this is the Mavic Air, and here I am again, red shirt, white socks. You can see I'm in a shaded area. So how does it look? Now we all know, everybody who owns a Mavic Air all knows that the Mavic Air actually saturates the colors. So in other words, if something's a little bit red, well, on the Mavic Air, it's going to be a lot of it red. So a little bit green, a lot of it green. You know, sometimes things don't look too natural on the Mavic Air, but in other cases, as we might see in this video, I haven't done it yet, they actually make things look pretty good. So right now, this is just a camera comparison. So once again, this is the Mavic Air, and once again, this is the Autel EVO, and we'll switch back to the Mavic Air, and there we go. Here I am. All right, I'm gonna set the cameras up in a different location. I'll be outside of the shade. I'm gonna put myself over in bright sunlight, and we'll see how the cameras do. All right, so here's the image from the Autel EVO. It's about 5 meters away from me. I can't get any closer because of the obstacle avoidance. I have it on. So it wants to only get within a range of 5 meters. You might be able to hear a little bit of beeping in the background. So how do I look? Now the Autel EVO has been known to be one of those cameras that actually doesn't mess up your colors too much. If anything, the Autel EVO actually reduces the colors. In other words, if I'm wearing a red shirt, it looks like I'm wearing a light red shirt. Right now, the sun is right here. It's blinding me. It's super, super bright, early morning sun, low in the horizon. So I should be lit up. So in other words, maybe my arms might be overexposed, underexposed. You know, it depends on how the sensor adjusts the exposure on automatic settings. I have my white legs, white socks. Do I look blindingly white? Does the red still look red? Everything look good? All right, now I'm gonna switch it to the probably saturated colors of the Mavic Air. Tell me what the difference looks like. All right, so this is the Mavic Air. How do I look? Does the grass look greener? Do I look redder? Do I look whiter? Is anything blown out? You know, how's everything look? The sun is blindingly right there. Now, one thing I should point out with the Autel EVO and the Mavic Air, the Autel EVO has a wide view, like maybe about 10% wider than the Mavic Air. So if I put both drones at the same distance, the Mavic Air will actually look closer than, and the Autel EVO will actually look farther away. But ignore that and just look at what you see. So right now, here I am. Everything look good, you know? All right, that's what you get with the Mavic Air. Hopefully it looks pretty awesome. I can't tell because I won't see it till I watch this video. Anyways, let's go on to the next location. So for this comparison, I'm down here. I'm gonna wave my arms and I'm gonna zoom in on me, and I'm zooming in on me in post-processing. So I'm doing this on my computer at home. Here I am, nice and close, and now I zoom back out. So the Mavic Air, I've got a little bit of sky, a little bit of forest, and a little bit of ground. To the slight right of the Mavic Air, if you look at me zoomed in, right there is the sun. So the sun is there and the Mavic Air is right there. When the sun is low in the horizon, these drones usually don't film too well because sometimes they go out of focus. It just makes them look like they're out of focus, the way the sun is bouncing around inside their little lens. And sometimes they get the exposure all wrong. Things look just weird. So that's the Mavic Air. How does it look? Can you see the sky, the trees? You make out any definition of anything? The ground, here I am. All right, now I'm going to put the Autel EVO in the same spot and do the same test. And that is the Autel EVO. There's the sky. Here I am down here, and you see more of the ground because it does have a wider lens, but I do have them at the same distance away from me and exactly the same height up in the air. So how does it look? Here, let me zoom in on myself. This is me down here, zoomed in. Once again, I'm doing it on the computer, digital zoom, and this is how I look. So how's the Autel EVO look? How does the sky look? Is it blown out? Is the ground still green? Am I still wearing a red shirt? If you can even see me, I'm just a dot. The sun should be really blinding the Autel EVO as it was with the Mavic Air. So the colors might be a little bit weird. Everything might be a little bit strange because this is the worst direction to take an image. All right, looks like my little Mavic Air is having a low battery warning. So let's go bring it in. All right, for this final test to show you where the Mavic Air and its saturated colors may come in beneficial is usually when you're flying, when the sun is low on the horizon and you're flying early morning, like this morning. Let me see, can I get the sun? Look behind me. See the sun? It should be back there someplace. Whoa, everything looks bright. Anyways, so it is low on the horizon. I'm gonna fly in that direction over there, and I'm gonna have the cameras looking down slightly. And I'm just gonna head out. There's a bunch of guys flying RC planes over there, so I have to keep it kind of high so I don't run into their planes. And then I'll just spin around and bring it back. And what I'll do is both drones, I will cut in and out of the footage so you can see the difference. In my opinion, I have not seen this, I could be totally wrong. Sometimes the saturated colors of the Mavic Air look good in these type of situations. Other times, maybe not so much. Here we go. Man, is it hot out here. All right, so that's the end of this test. I hope you enjoyed the camera comparison between the Autel EVO and the Mavic Air, two very popular drones. Well, actually the Mavic Air is the most popular because it's been around since January and it's sold all over the world, whereas the Autel EVO is only sold in like the United States. So not too many people have it. Autel, you have to fix that. So what did you prefer, the color saturation of the Mavic Air or the less color saturation of the Autel EVO? I noticed in a lot of videos I do when I'm close up to an object or near an object, the Autel EVO seems to give, for the most part, the more accurate colors. But then when you fly high in the air, sometimes, depending on the lighting, it seems to wash out the colors every now and then. So I don't know if that happened in the video I just took. You'll be the judge of that, if the Mavic Air brought out better colors when I was flying than the Autel EVO, or maybe the Autel EVO looked amazing. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought, because I haven't seen the video right now, so I can't give you any opinions. Which one did you like better? Based on this camera comparison, if you had to pick one of these drones today for the camera, based on what you saw here today, which one would you choose? And before I let you go, if you haven't seen the Autel EVO camera versus the Mavic Pro camera, I'll put a link below. I did a little thing that's very similar to this Mavic Air one. And I also did a camera comparison with the Phantom 4 Pro with the 1-inch sensor compared to the Autel EVO, and I'll put a link to that below as well. Coming up in the future, I will do the Autel EVO versus the Parrot Anafi, and you'll catch it here on this channel. So stay tuned, subscribe, and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Catch you in the next one.